Hi, I'm Jack, and this is Jack's Vintage Moto Videos. Today I'm going to show some cylinder heads, two different ones here. These are Honda twins, early model twins. This is from the early 1970s, and this is the more common 250-305 twins, the CLs, the CBs, and whatnot. It is not a CA. The Dreams had single intakes. This one has the dual intake on it, as you can see here. It's got two intake ports. Dreams were 305s, but they were 305s with one carburetor. This cylinder head we know is from a CL, and the way we know that is on the side of the cylinder head where normally the tach drive would be, there's a blanking plate here. The CB 77 and 72 did have a tachometer, and so with this blanking plate we can surmise that this is off a CL, either 72 or 77. This is off a CL 175. On this end of the cylinder head, you can see there is a place where the timing plate went. So the points are under here, and on this side of the cylinder head is the tach drive. For some reason, the 72 model CL did have a tachometer on it, although the earlier ones did not. This has a single camshaft that runs the whole length. This cam is broken. There's a tooth missing on the cam gear, and the cam gear does not come off of the crankshaft. Off of the camshaft. This one has a cam gear which is attached permanently to the camshaft, and this one has a broken tooth on the cam gear, so this cam is going to be thrown out. It's not worth saving. This cylinder head's a little more complex. The camshaft is in two pieces, and it's held together by this nut in here. The important thing to remember is that this nut is reverse thread. Very important when you're trying to take one of these apart. You remember you loosen this nut by a reverse thread. The way you remove the camshaft on this model cylinder head is you first take the side covers off, and behind the side covers are the shafts that the rocker arms ride on. You remove the rocker arms from it, your camshaft will be free. You loosen the nut, and then you have to drive the cam bearings, which are in here. You have to drive the cam bearings out, and the camshaft will come out. Then you take the bearings off the camshaft, and you can pick up the half of the camshaft out of it. Here, attached to the center gear, timing gear, is the advancer. These advancers are hard to come by, and they're somewhat valuable. They don't last forever. The springs in them become loose. And so if this is a good timing advancer, I'm going to go ahead and try to salvage that part and use it on another bike if I need it. On this motorcycle, this is where the timing plate went, and the points are in here. The timing advancer is attached onto the camshaft, and there's a small lobe right here. And this lobe is the lobe that pushes the points open and close. And also, as the timing advancer, the engine picks up speed, the timing advancer moves that lobe, which advances the timing. I'm going to try to save that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started breaking down this cylinder head first, the CL175. The first thing I'm going to do when I disassemble this cylinder head is I'm going to take the exhaust studs out and the intake studs. These are kind of pesky. They stick out. They, I just don't need them in there. These studs are very hard to get out sometimes. Oftentimes you'll have to use heat. Luckily, I cleaned this in my ultrasonic tank. I put penetrating oil on them, let it sit overnight, and then the studs did seem to come loose. I now have the intake and the exhaust studs off of the head. Over here, there is a carb insulator that seems to be hanging onto the engine. It doesn't want to seem to come off. It looks to be in good shape. I don't want to ruin it, so I'm going to kind of tap it off gently and see if I can maybe get it to move a little bit. On this side of the cylinder head is the stud that is used to lock the cam chain tensioner in place. All right, this carb insulator here is stuck to the cylinder head. It is in nice shape, so I'm going to see if I can just gently maybe tap it off. I don't want to ruin it. There we go. All right, that's a nice carb insulator. I don't know what size that is. Maybe it's a 22. And it looks like the old gasket is still attached to the cylinder head. Yep, the gasket ripped. A small piece of it is still on the head. So this goes in the scrap bin. All right. Next, I'm going to take the cam drive off of the end of the cylinder head and then attempt to remove this cup that's attached. The screws that hold these cups on are notoriously hard to get out and not easy, but I'll see if I can get it off. The screw head stripped out, and the other one, the screw head is broken off of. So I'm going to have to go ahead and remove the screw head that's stripped out, and I'm going to do that with a drill. I was able to drill the screw head off, and now let's go ahead and see if we can get this tack drive to come free of the end of the cylinder head. Doesn't look like I'm missing anything. Be interesting to see if this will come off gently or if I'm going to have to use persuasion. Yeah, it looks like it's free, but it just doesn't want to seem to come off of the end of the cylinder head. So the tack drive is free of the cylinder head. The screws are cut, and there we go. Just a little bit of effort. It came right off the end of the cylinder head. Don't know if this is reusable or not. It's pretty crusty, but I'll take a look at it and see. It does turn. I'm turning it with my finger, but it is pretty tight. So maybe this will have to go into the ultrasonic tank and be cleaned. See if it'll come apart. And these two pieces sticking out, these are the ends of the shafts upon which the rocker arms rotate on the cam. I'm going to go ahead and take them out. The first thing that I need to do is loosen the rocker arms by loosening the adjuster nuts on the end of the rocker arms. Once I get that done, then I should be able to pull these shafts out without too much difficulty. The valve adjusters are a number 8 socket. So the first thing I'm going to do is back these adjusters off as much as I can to relieve the tension on the rocker arm, and then I'll see if I can pull the rocker arm out. The nuts came off pretty easy. Now it's just a matter of getting the adjustment screw out of there. And the rocker arm is pretty free right now. All right, both of my rocker arms are now free. There's no tension on them. Let's see if I can grab the rocker shaft and pull it out. There you go. Came out just like that. I don't know if I'll be able to get... There it is. The rocker arm is out. This other rocker shaft, I'm not so sure is going to come out that easily. It seems to not want to move. All right, I'm going to put the vice grips on it. Got to be careful that I don't damage the end of the shaft. There we go. A little bit of force and came right out. Here's the rocker arm, the other one. I'm going to go ahead and get these two rocker arms off, but first I'm going to take the timing advancer off and the timing cup that sits, the plate sits here. This is the camshaft that has a lobe in it that actuates the points. This is actually pretty crusty. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm going to have to go ahead and see if maybe I can polish this a little bit, but it came off the end of the camshaft, out of the adjuster, points adjuster, but it's really not in good condition at all. I don't know what's going on with that. See if I can get the 4 screws out that hold this box or cup onto the end of the cylinder head. Nope, that one's not coming out. So I'm going to have to go ahead and drill the head of that one off also. I was able to drill the screw head off on the one screw that got stripped. You can see I've got the screw head here. The box that holds the timing plate and the points did come right off. The camshaft is still attached to it. I still have two rocker arms attached. So I'm going to go ahead and knock those two rocker arms out of there. We'll have a little bit more way to work with the camshaft at that point. Well, I finally did get the timing advancer off of the end of the crankshaft, but it was a brutal fight. And in the process of doing so, I ruined the housing that holds the timing advancer. And unfortunately, the timing advancer did bite the dust, as we shall say. But I did get it off the end of the crankshaft. I'm not sure exactly why. It looks like there's a decent amount of rust, and so I think that was why the timing advancer did not want to come off. In the process of getting it off, I discovered that there's these little tiny washers that go underneath the weights on the timing plate. I don't know what these are, and I don't know if there's a part number for them, but I bet they're pretty rare washers and probably pretty hard to come by if you should need one. So I'm going to go ahead and throw them into a little parts bag and save those little washers for future use if I ever need them. Now that the timing plate and the timing housing is off of the end of the camshaft, I will go ahead and remove the remaining two rocker arms, and then we'll take the camshaft out. To get something in there to tap those little rocker arm shafts out to begin to get them to protrude so I can there we go. I don't know if that's enough to grab it by. Oh, there we go. Here comes the rocker arm shaft. The rocker arm has dropped out. Boy, that has some lubricant on it. Actually, this is my parts here. And let's see if we can maybe get the other one to drop out. When tapping the rocker arm shafts out, you want to be careful you don't score the bearing surface that these ride in or score the surface of them. Boy, this sucker just does not want to come free of the head. Okay, let's see if we can get this rocker arm shaft out. The camshaft we should be able to just lift out of the cylinder head. As I mentioned, this camshaft, the timing gear is missing a tooth. This gear is not removable. And in addition, there's some pretty good rust on the lobes. So this camshaft is going to go into the trash can. All right, now we're down to the last pieces and parts here of what we got to do, and that's remove the intake and exhaust valves. That's pretty easy if you've never done it. This is a tool I bought on eBay. I kind of lucked out. This is a genuine Honda tool. It says made in Japan. It's got the Honda emblem on it. I only paid $25 for it, which is kind of interesting because sometimes these old Honda tools, factory tools, command a pretty high price on the secondary market. But basically the way we're going to set this up, we're going to put this end is going to straddle the valve stem, and this end here is going to go onto the valve, sit against the valve. So you open this up. Put this head against the valve. Screw this in so it's pressing up onto the valve spring. And then tighten it down. This is compressing the spring. The two valve keepers will come loose, and I usually retrieve them with a magnet. Don't look like they want to come free today. There we go. One of them dropped out. The other one's still hanging up. There you go. Both of the valve keepers dropped out. I'll remove this tool, release the tension on the tool. Here's the top of the valve. Here is the valve spring. And on this cylinder head, it looks like they're double springs. And then let's see if we can go ahead and gently push the valve out. Boy, that magnet doesn't want to let go. All right. There's the intake valve. It's got quite a bit of crud on it, but it isn't chewed up. The edge where it touches the cylinder head doesn't have any holes or burn marks or anything. So I think that valve will clean up. Should be able to take that off. Run it through the ultrasonic. See if I can't get that to clean up a little bit. All right. There we have it. I have disassembled the CL175 cylinder head. The camshaft is gone. The rocker arms and the rocker arm studs have all been removed. The valves have been removed. I'm going to go ahead and clean this head a little bit more. Got to get the screws that I cut the heads off of. I still have to get those out. I think I got two here and I got one here. I'm going to do that after we turn this video off. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean this head a little more. I'm going to clean all the valve train parts. I'll put them into separate baggies to hold them all. And then I'll go ahead, label the head, and into the parts stash it goes. But anyway, my name is Jack. It's Jack's Vintage Moto Videos. I hope you subscribe and enjoyed this video. Have a good day.